Good morning, Andrea here with the Healthy Back Program. So I wanted to make this quick little video because I had a really interesting conversation with a client of mine. And during our coaching session, when we were going over her wins and things she's been doing and moving forward and all of that, I found it interesting because she started listing very mundane things. And when I say that, what I mean is she was giving me examples of, well, I got my CDs dusted off and organized. So I pulled them all out and I organized them. And then I went around and I hadn't done the baseboards in a while, so I managed to do the baseboards. And while that's not mundane, it's a big job, and I totally get that. It was really interesting because what I know about this client is that she has a lot of stuff that she carries around with her, a lot of emotional stuff that really holds her back and causes a lot of resistance in her life. And she still struggles with the ability to put some prioritization about where she's at in her life as to where everybody else is at and where everything else is at in her life. And I want to make it really, really clear that it's so important that you understand where your priorities about yourself and your health are. And having that understanding that that priority needs to be first. It needs to be every day. It needs to be something that is built into your routine of everyday life so that you don't have to think about it. That's how priority your health should be in your life. That's how it should be displayed in your life. And because she's still real hesitant about opening Pandora's box of that emotional stuff she's been carrying around, and I totally get that. There also is that point where, because she's so unhappy in her life, I have to start asking her about how her happiness is less important than everybody else's happiness in her life. That if she's putting everybody else in ahead of herself to make them happy, to keep the peace, at what cost is that to her and her health and her back's health, right? Because that means that she is not as much of a priority as everybody else. And that's not okay. You need to be making sure that you are as much of a priority to yourself as your family, as your home, as everything else in your life. So be really, really clear, get really, really clear about your priorities and start looking at how many times do you say yes when internally you really know that you should say no, or that you need to say no, or that you want to say no, but you say yes anyway. And it's those kind of situations where, or you meant to do something, you were going to stretch maybe, or you were going to do something for yourself, something small, have a cup of coffee quietly out on the deck with the sun coming up, something, whatever, and you had to bypass that because that, somebody else needed you at that moment, and you chose, even though it wasn't important, to do whatever that other person needed you to do, instead of saying, if this can wait 20 minutes, I'll be with you. And so it's important to me that you guys understand that you can start putting yourselves first, even if you've not done it in the past. The past is a past, and okay, fine, let's move forward, because right now is all you have. Right now is all we're got. All of us are guaranteed right now. We're not guaranteed a moment from now. So, what's your priority, and how do you want to make this journey through life as easy as possible by putting yourself first so that you can get to the end game, which ultimately for all of us is getting older, right? All we're asking you to do is put your health as a priority, which includes your back. Put that as a priority so that when we get to the end of the game, which is getting older and dying, we get there as easily as possible and as healthy as possible to give us a better chance of that fight of, it's not for wimps. And I don't know any person that's older than me that will say to me, if I had known now, I would have done my health differently. Every person that's older than me can say that to me. So if that's the case, if everybody can say that to you, then it means that you need to be making your health a priority. So I hope this helps. And if not, let's have conversations about why your health isn't your priority. Until next time.